Okay. Can you see me?
Okay. Yes.
Can you see me? Okay. I am not sure. Let me see how it's looking on my thing because it's
Okay.
showing but not.
It
So
says
I'm
live and it got the
yes.
thing up
Do you
there.
see it? Okay, so we're up
Hmm.
there. It's
Okay.
just acting up on my end. So it's showing I can see it on my end, which is great.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, girl. So that's listen, I am so
Mhm.
sorry after.
It's okay. It's
Okay.
okay.
So tonight we
Hmm.
have Afton artists on tonight. Best, I mean, all right. So I'm gonna say it for me. Oh my gosh. Is this playing while I'm on the thing? Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. You hear the music?
It's just kind of like staticky, but I don't really hear no music.
Okay.
I
All
can hear
right.
you
Hold on
though.
one second.
Hmm.
I'm having a little lagging. Okay. So hands down to me, I know I've had a chance to taste your cooking. And when I say that your food is the best I've tasted since I've been here in Virginia, that might be a little bit too much to say for some people. They're like, oh, but I know what I've tasted was great. And I
Thank you.
absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. You had an event recently where you had opened up the platform for women and you had treated us to lunch.
Hmm.
And let me tell you, it took everything in me not to take every pan and walk out the door. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to take the food home with me. I mean, you had everything covered. And you know, sometimes when you're giving out like free events,
Hmm.
you don't always get like a spread like that. I was
Hmm.
not prepared. So everything I loved, and my favorite was the lamb. The
The lamb
lamb,
chops.
yes, I've never had lamb before, and you
Hmm.
have opened me up to a new, like, my whole taste buds is different for lamb now. So, yes, tonight we have on. So, I'm sorry, everyone. We had some technical difficulties, but I have Afton artists on tonight, and we are going to talk about business to business. Basically, just covering all of the triumphs and the different oohs and ahs that you go through as being a business owner. So I want to just give her a moment to go ahead and tell a little bit about herself while I'm still adjusting on my end.
I'm Afton Artist. I'm the owner of Afton Soul Cuisine. Um, Basically, it's a catering service. Um, we do private dinings, weddings, baby showers, repasses, everything basically. Yeah, so any other questions? I'm not that good of a speaker, okay?
I'm telling you. So, when you say that you're doing like weddings and caterings and stuff, so
Mhm.
how long have you been doing, like, have you always started in a catering where you have catered to all events, or was it like more private for you at first?
So basically my start happened to me just selling dinners.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Mhm,
Um well, when I was a couple of years ago I would do like little commercial pans here and there, just for work or
mhm,
family events or something like that.
mhm,
Um but just being raised up in the kitchen, and I
mhm.
just grasped it and like, you know, it
So
just
you have,
came to me natural. It came to me natural, basically. But yeah, I started off with dinners back in like 2020, and it
mhm,
like grew from there. I was speaking to another chef, and
mhm,
she was basically letting me know, well, look, you do it this way, get your serve safe food ministry protection, certification and all of that. So
mhm.
that came into play with me just doing full blown catering.
Okay, that is
Yeah.
good. I mean,
Mhm.
I really appreciate any caterers that I have met. I really appreciate you and the work that you do, because I could just imagine that it's a lot that you have to put into it, right?
Mhm.
So,
Right.
can you just fill me in a little bit? Like, what is it a day in a life for a caterer? Like,
Well,
how?
I think a
Mhm,
lot of people don't
mhm,
see the whole picture of catering. Number
mhm,
one, you have to deal with the public. So when you speaking to a customer, a customer is giving you everything. That look, you can be also a therapist too. They're calling you, letting you know about their event, what their expectations is, what they want. They want this, they want that. And a lot of times, it comes into play of us working with their budget or what. And a lot of times maybe they may say they don't have a budget, but everybody has a budget. You're not going to spend but so much.
Right.
And so that's my job to basically customize a menu for you that's suitable for your budget and suitable for the guests that you're going to have. And me, I like to make sure it's somewhat like a full production basically,
Mm-hmm.
because the timing that you get there, far as like setting up, if you got to set your table up, set everything up, just to make sure everything is nice and making sure it's is exactly how you want it. It's like, and it's like the background behind that. You have
Mm-hmm.
days and nights where you're thinking like, okay, well, the colors are, they have certain colors. You want to make sure your tablecloths is coordinating with everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot of work that comes into play with that. People don't see that you going to different stores to shop for different types of food because one store doesn't have everything you may need.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of back and forth to the stores. It's the prep time it takes for you to prep your chicken, cleaning your chicken, cooking your chicken.
Mm-hmm.
If you like those lamb chops, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
cleaning your lamb chops, cutting your lamb chops up,
Mm-hmm.
season them, and then you have to turn around and cook them. So it's time consuming, and especially when you're cooking for more than 10 people,
Right.
it takes time. And me, I make sure I take my time. I put a little love. I make sure my food is made with some love. Okay.
And that is for real because I taste the love in it
Right.
every time.
Right.
So, with that, what was like the largest party you've ever catered to?
Well, I say maybe like 300 or
Oh, wow.
whatnot,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
it can get challenging or
Okay.
whatnot, especially when, like, I don't think people understand.
Mhm.
A lot of people have problems when it comes down to pricing when
Okay.
you're feeding more than 50 people. When it gets into feeding 100 people, you can't
Mhm.
have all these meats and all these sides and think you're just going to pay, you know,
Right.
$2,000 or $1,000. It don't work like
Right.
that. Food costs and my time costs. Okay.
Right. 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 It's,
But
mhm.
I don't think people really get that. Also,
Mhm.
just even like starting out with the business, making sure you have a business license, making sure you have, your catering insurance,
Mhm.
your certifications, your health permits, because a lot of
Mhm.
times you can't even go in certain buildings without any of this stuff.
Wow.
So it's like, but I know everybody has to have a start. And
Mhm.
me going into this, I'm
Mhm.
looking at it more of, I wanted that more of the goal of economic mobility, of
Right.
being able to prepare for retirement for me. That
Mhm.
that was my goal really of going into this. Like, I had a passion for food, but also money wise, you want to make sure that you're making enough or whatnot that it's going to cover you. um,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's okay. So that sounds all good. You know what? I really, just to piggyback off of that, having
Mm-hmm.
a business, that's the initial goal, right? Is to make sure that you're setting up financial freedom because everybody
Right.
wants to have the financial freedom. And I used to be a person that you got to clock in, you got to clock in, you got to clock in. That was my main thing. Tapping
Right.
on the clock every day. And I got exhausted of it. Okay. Because I
Right.
realized working for myself, I had that freedom and it helps me produce better. When I have that
Right.
freedom, I don't have anyone on my back. I'm kind of making the decisions myself. Also, like I said, with the financial freedom, it's amazing to have financial freedom in a business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's some good things that come with a business owner. And you being a caterer, you're working in an industry where you're always needed. I mean, food
Right.
is like you have to have food to eat. I mean, period. To even
Right.
survive, you got to have food.
Right.
So you're always going to be needed in any situation
Well,
because you go
mhm.
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, well, you're right. I feel like food is an essential part of every event. You want
Yep.
people to come to your event, have a
Hmm.
good time, and eat good too. Because when you have good food, you have good conversation or whatnot. You want people to enjoy your event. You want people not, because you have people who go different events and they leave and go to McDonald's when they done. They go to Burger King when they done because the food wasn't good, and they gonna talk about it. And they may not want to show up to another event because they know the
I
food wasn't good.
I know it, and
But
that's
when
the
you got good
thing.
food,
Yep.
everybody's happy. Okay.
Everybody's happy, and that's what I was saying, that no matter where you go, it don't matter what event you have, if you have food, I mean, even at a funeral, they will talk
Right.
about the food. They're not even think about the fact that, hey, we're
Definitely.
just, somebody passed away. They're like, did you
Right.
taste that food?
and
Okay.
and and just with me, I've done a couple repasses, and
Oh,
it has
uh-huh.
definitely made me feel good that I could give other families a little bit of happiness because the food was good. Okay.
See, and that, like,
Hmm.
you don't even know how important your level of business is to the world, period, because of the food aspect. We have one of our sisters, Tamara, she logged in. Hey
Hey,
girl, she
girl.
said, not only is your food amazing, your professionalism is top tier, sis. Very elegant and classy, which goes a very long way. Let
Thank
me tell
you.
you, I've seen some of your setups and I was just
Mhm.
in awe, because that's important, because there's
Mhm.
some times where you go and the setup might not be all that great. So then I don't know about anybody else, but I get a little skeptical about the food too, because I'm like, this thing look like it's just been slapped together. I mean, I went to an event one time and the girl had the collard greens on the table, but the collard green juices was all over the tablecloth, on the everywhere. It was just little pieces of collard greens. And
Mhm.
for me, even though it was an event with food, the collard greens just being everywhere just made me just not want the collard greens. So I just
Right.
went ahead and skipped over that. Went over to the deviled eggs, and the deviled eggs are all out of the egg. And I'm like, what is so, to me now I'm thinking like,
Mhm.
how did she, where did she prepare this, how did she prepare it, because it's all over the place in the event. I could just
Mhm.
imagine how it was prepared at home or at wherever she had to prepare it at, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that
Right.
makes a difference. You have that, you invite people in to want the food.
Well, thank you. I try to make it very presentable, so they like it. And plus, I like to kind of decorate a little bit, So I
Right.
do. I do want to make sure people come in and be like, "Oh, she put effort into this and did." Hope you like it. So I mean, that does. I mean, it
Hmm.
makes it better. It makes everything better. Your presentation and everything makes it better. That's why I say you put on a whole production. A lot of times when you're doing things. So
Exactly. Hmm.
yeah.
That's amazing to me. I really
Mhm.
appreciate that. I know presentation, like she said, presentation is everything. It is. So I want to
Mhm.
ask you now, this is just
Mhm.
going into, so we have our pros and cons. All right.
Mhm.
So all the pros is like the presentation, the food is good.
Mhm.
That's a number one pro.
Mhm.
All of your, time management and things that you do up until that point, making sure
Right.
that you deal with the customers on a professional level.
Mhm.
Have you ever, do you have a con about your business?
I don't feel like it's a con about
Hmm.
personally just about my business. I feel
Right,
like dealing in the food industry, anything can happen.
right.
You can have equipment go out,
Okay.
I mean, it could be brand new oven, brand new fryer, and boom, it goes out on you. And
Hmm.
you're looking like, oh, my event starts in an hour and a half, or my event starts in 2 hours. Like, what do I do?
Hmm.
So you have to be able to have that wiggle room and have that thinking cap on. Okay, let me do this, or let me do this, or making sure you have something extra. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You can easily drop a pan or
Right.
whatnot, and you're feeding 100 people and you need about maybe 2.5 commercial pans of food, and you done dropped a whole commercial pan of food. What are you gonna do? You know what I
Right.
mean? Are
Right.
you gonna have enough time to be able to make any more? Or do you have anything back that you can substitute for it? It's like, anything is liable to happen. Electricity
Hmm.
can go out, anything can happen. And
Right.
you just really have to be prepared for, you have to
Hmm.
be prepared for traffic or
Right.
whatnot. I mean, I haven't had cases where you
Hmm.
can leave an hour ahead of time or 2 hours ahead of time. but
Mhm.
yet can get stuck in traffic because
Wow.
of an
Yeah.
accident or a bridge or just anything happening. You just have to
Mhm.
be prepared for that. But also, you have to keep your head on tight, because just even speaking with your customers of what's going on, you have to be able to, I know you're going to be upset because your business is on the line, but
Right.
also you have to think about the customers too, or
Mhm.
whatnot, because we sign contracts with catering. So you sign this contract that you're going to be here at this time right here. Sometimes you got to bite that bullet. So if
Yeah.
you're an hour late or an hour and a half late, and they may only have the facility for a certain amount of time, you
Mhm.
about to get some money back. Be prepared. So you better not spend all that money they give you. you
Right.
know, so it's just like, it's just certain things like that. I mean, things can happen,
Mhm.
and I a lot of times, and I think in the beginning, I beat myself up in the beginning, because you're
Mhm.
like, oh my God, like you're
Mhm.
going crazy because you
Right.
don't want things to happen, and you're like, oh my God, I want to give up. But failure, you learn from failure,
Right.
and I had to stop being so hard on myself and say,
Mhm.
okay, I'm learning from this. It's a learning process. This is what I will do next time when it comes around. This is what I will not do next time. And
Right.
even when it comes down to your customers,
Mhm.
like, you have to be stern sometimes, like, I'm willing to do this and I'm willing to do that or whatnot, but some things I'm not willing to do, okay?
So speaking of
Because
that,
it's like, wait a minute now.
yeah, right.
Especially when you sign a contract for a certain amount of people,
Mhm.
it is what it is. And then just even when you sign your contracts and your money is due at a certain time,
Right.
and you have some people who have tried to pay you, the day before or the day of. No, we're not doing that. That is why we signed this contract. Okay.
Right.
So just like, I mean, you want the best quality service or whatnot. So
Mhm.
pay me my money.
Right. Oh,
And
listen,
it's
and
not going to
that's
be the
just
day of or the
period.
day before.
Right. Period. Period. Period.
Period. Okay. I know my worth.
Right. So
Now,
let's
in the
let's
beginning, it was
thi-
more thinking like, this is
right.
kind of, no, absolutely not. You're not about to be running crazy. I just can't do it. But
Mhm.
other than that, I think every business have their challenges. You always have to start somewhere or
Mhm.
whatnot, and I just feel like in the end, just like, failure is just not an option.
Right.
And things can go wrong. You just can't give up. You just got to keep going. And
Yeah.
so even now, things is going wrong with me, but hey, I'm still going. I got
Right.
enough confidence in myself now that I know what service I can put out there, what quality service I'm putting out there, and the feedback is just, it's been amazing so far. So thank God for
That's
that. I can't do nothing without him. Thank you, God.
okay. Exactly.
Cause
He
he been blessing me. He been
right.
blessing me. Cause I swear I done had some moments. I'd be like, man, why me? I do everything I'm supposed to do, but it's not working out.
Listen,
And
you got
he
me
coming
choking
through.
over here.
He be coming through. So
Listen,
yeah.
that's crazy. That's funny that you say that because like I just listened to you and I listened to your stories and I'm just like he pulled through all of it, through all of the different things that you experienced.
I'm trying to tell
And
you.
excuse me, you got me choking over here. So
Hmm.
one said, best food I've ever had. Hold on. Oh, that's number one. And then let me read Tamara's comment real quick. She said, so time management and preparation and backups are plan are essential and
Hmm.
self-control. Because let me tell you,
Yes.
there's been times where, okay, I'm gonna just tell y'all just to piggyback off of Tamara, and then I'll look who's logged in. Let me see. I just saw her comment. Hey, Tawanda. She said, good evening, ladies. You guys look beautiful. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hello. All right. So this is the thing. I'm telling you, people, when you're in a business, okay,
Hmm.
so I feel like small businesses be stepped on sometimes, okay?
Right. Right.
And people do not respect your time. Okay. Let me tell you,
Definitely. Definitely.
this that is a pet peeve for me. Okay.
Mhm.
Anybody out there listening? Yes, we are going to get on you customers today. Time management, okay, is a big thing, but you also have to have time management as a customer or a client as well. There's
Mhm.
been times that I get dressed. Now, mind you, I live about 15 to 20 minutes from my location because I don't do
Mhm.
business in my home. So I
Mhm.
had to get ready,
Yeah.
get all dialed up because I can't go in there looking like anything. I mean, I'm performing intimate services for your waxing needs and stuff. So I got
Right.
to look a certain way. I'm
Right.
getting myself prepared. And I'm pretty sure you do the same thing while for your catering because you can't go in there with food all over the place. So
Mhm.
I'm getting myself all over you. I'm getting myself together. Get down. I'm in mid driving, okay? And then boom, the
Mhm.
person cancels. I'm
Mm.
like, you know what? So now at first I was letting it go. And then I had to change my policy. So now
Right.
if you cancel on me while I'm en route because that's gas and time, I'm
Mhm.
charging you full service because that means that you
Right.
took a spot for somebody else and you didn't consider my time. But I want
Right.
to know if I was a corporate company, would you do it the same? Because corporate companies are harsher. They don't have that one-on-one relationship, and
Mhm.
they treat you like corporate. Like, hey, you're late. This is the price. Go against it. Take me to court. I don't care. That's
Right.
how they
Right.
treat it. Do you
Right.
feel like you give your customers that one-on-one feel, or do you stand your ground with them?
Well, I stand my ground with them, especially when it come down to, my money and everything, because I'm gonna give them money. Okay.
Mhm.
When it's due, it's due. Unless we done, unless like I've done business with you in the past, and
Mhm.
I don't work a little something something now. But when it's due,
Mhm.
it's due.
Right.
Now, far as one-on-one time, far as my customers and stuff, I've had situations where I understand you may have a wedding coming up or a baby shower, whatever it is, and I just feel like, sometimes people will call at 10 at night, 11 at night. I'll get text messages
Mm.
regarding, their event. And I'm like, okay, now, I, this might be private time, and I'm
Right.
like, I may glance and I may respond back and I may not, but
Right.
I do have that sense of when people have that urgency. I just want to make sure if this is it. But yeah, but sometimes I do feel like customers should give you a little courtesy, like
Mhm.
calling at 10 and 11 o'clock at night. That's just too late. Or texting at 10, 11 o'clock at night. That is just too late. Because at that time, I'm not thinking about your event. I'm thinking about my bed. I'm thinking about this TV. Or I may be up prepping. You just never know.
Right.
And so, but yeah, I
I
do
think.
feel like a lot of times people
Mhm.
have given me that courtesy if their event is not going to go on. But most of the time, people don't spend so much money, they're going to have their event. I haven't
Right.
really had any like cancellations on events or just anything like that because it's just too much money put out either way with me or either with a decorator or with a building.
Mhm.
So yeah, but
That is
yeah.
something. I mean, that definitely is another pet peeve of mine too. Because I want to know: would you call Bath and Body Works at 11 o'clock at night asking if they got that certain lotion? No, you will not. So
No,
I
probably
be
not.
looking, and that's what I feel like. I was just
Hmm.
like, they make the small businesses personable to the point where it's
Right.
almost like they're making your small business their small business. Because
Hmm.
sometimes I've had cases where some of them ignore the policies and procedures and things that we have to do. And I'm just like, these things are put in place just like any other company. It should not be
Well,
ignored just because you feel like I'm a small business owner. That is
well,
not your business, is my business. Go ahead. Mhm.
I do agree with that because I've
Mhm.
had just say if I'm catering an event and
Mhm.
I'm there and I'm serving and everything like that, I would not serve somebody else's food. So I've had it where people be like, "Oh, my aunt makes the best such and such, and we want to give them that." Well, you need to have your own separate server because I'm not doing that. I'm not serving
Oh.
no food that I have not prepared or whatnot.
Mhm.
You ain't gonna
Mhm.
sue me for something
Right.
not being right.
Right. Right.
So like far as like, that go of customers of getting back to when you're saying customers getting their way or
Mhm.
wanting certain things, and us being a small business, because you would not go to a corporate event, or you know what I mean, like
Right.
something like, and ask for all of that. No,
Right.
no,
That's
you
what
ain't bringing nobody else food in there, in that
right.
establishment, but theirs.
Right. And
So
that's
yeah.
I feel, and not sorry to cut you off. I felt like
Mhm.
that's what I felt like. I felt like sometimes our businesses are being taken advantage only because of what they
Mhm.
feel like it's a more of a mom and pop. And I'm like, no, think about how much as a business owner we have to put in. Like for yourself, Afton, you have to put in
Well,
time,
mhm,
preparation. Go ahead. Go
mhm.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm agreeing with everything you
Mm-hmm.
saying. I
Mm-hmm.
have had certain cases where, I am African American, and
Mm-hmm.
I've had certain people say, I just want to help a black business out and blah 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 blah, but yet you want a discount. Or, or yet you don't want to pay my prices because you feel
Right.
like I'm a small black business.
Right.
But yet my food is better than a lot of other food that's out here. Okay,
Right.
because I had somebody tell me they had a problem with the how much I was charging for a pan of macaroni and cheese, but yet she tells me I can go to what's that steak place? I forgot the name of the steak place. They only charge such and such for their. Well, you go get theirs then and stop asking for mine. You
Right.
know, that's how I
Right.
feel on that. And yet
Mhm.
that conversation, I didn't say that to her, but in my mind, I'm thinking that the professional it was, well, ma'am, I totally understand. And I'm sorry that I won't be able to serve you. You have a good day. Hung up.
Right.
I get
Mhm.
a phone call 2 weeks later. I want to go ahead on, ma'am. I'm busy that day. Sorry, I'm booked.
Just canceled out the whole thing.
Go to your restaurant and get that. Okay? Go to a restaurant you want to get to do food in my face. But that's how, sometimes you don't want to be in your feelings, but I mean, it's like, don't come at me like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Right.
hold on now. Don't be throwing nobody else's price in my face 'cause I don't care. This is my business. And this is what I'm
Right.
charging. Apparently you like the food. So if you gonna pay it or you're not. So I just kind of like look at it like that. But other than that, I've been blessed or what, and I thank God that I've been
Mhm.
blessed,
Mhm.
that I haven't had like too many like crazy customers, that have contacted me. Hmm.
Right. Well, that's good on your. I'm so glad that you don't have that experience. And like I said,
Right.
you're the holy grail of businesses. Like nobody's not gonna play with food. Okay.
Right.
They're like, look,
Right.
I need to stand on business. Now,
Hmm.
I've had times where things have been where people expect a certain expectation from you as a
Hmm.
small business owner, have they certain demands. And then
Right.
there's some that really, really appreciate what you do.
Right.
So
Right.
that
Hmm.
makes me feel good when I can give those personable experiences to people that actually care about your business
Right.
versus giving that experience to someone that's going to treat it like it's a bottom of the barrel type of business.
Right.
So I was just like, you put so much time in, and this is for anyone that is watching. And if you are a business owner, look at yourself as top tier always. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? Because you got to think there's money put into this,
Hmm.
time, sweat,
Hmm.
blood, and tears. And I put
Yes.
tears in my business because there's been times I'm just like, you know what? You
Right.
know what? Okay. I mean, even with this podcast, this platform, I'm
Right.
like, you know what? But I have to keep on pushing because you have those customers that give you life to keep going. So
Right.
I
Right.
know after your event and everybody tastes the food, how do you know at that very moment that you struck a one with this event? Like it's hitting. Like, yeah, I did my thing on this event. Even if you were nervous. Uh-huh.
Right. A lot of times I've had people at the event come up,
Mm-hmm.
ask for business cards.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time I have an event, my business cards are always gone.
Mm-hmm.
They come back to the table, and then I have to start giving out phone number or my social media platforms. But yeah, they normally they'll tell me, and then after a lot of times after events too, I still get in contact with the customer. Hey, did I meet your standards? Was everything quality to you? How was your
Mm-hmm.
experience? And they let me know. Yeah, it was good. So yeah, I feel good. I mean, I haven't really had um a
Mm-hmm.
bad event where it comes down to the food tasting a certain way. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a blessing.
That is a
you
blessing. I
know,
told
that's a
you.
that's a blessing. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had like starting off, events before, like I had to give half their money back
Oh,
because of
wow.
being late. You know what I mean? But that
Oh,
was in the beginning,
mhm.
and it was certain circumstances. It wasn't my fault, but I mean, but it is my fault. At the
Right,
same time, it ain't your fault, but it is your fault. You
right.
know.
Mhm.
So I've learned from that. Like I said, all together, like you learn from failure, you learn from things messing up, but you just don't give up, Yeah, but also, and then too, like people come up from the event. Do you have any to go plates, or do you have this, or do you have that?
Mhm.
And that's how you know. Oh, okay, the food was good. They want us to go play. Okay. Look, there you go. Look,
Listen,
they just said it. Look, take it to go play home. Mm-hmm.
yep,
And
take it
do.
right, because listen,
Hey,
at that
sis.
woman, "Oh, hey, thank you for logging in. Is that your sister?"
Mhm.
Okay, yay, she's so
Look, that's my
sweet.
rider. She want to be helping me with everything.
I know, listen, she is a
You
sweetheart.
know,
I'm
because she be
telling
the one be getting us to go place. I be like, girl, we out. We ain't got but so many. No world.
Look, I love the to go place. I had a pleasure of actually being a part of just watching you in action, just seeing how you do your work from a distance and just watching you, and it was so great to just see you in action. And I was like, she's
Thanks.
amazing. She's so dope. And let me tell you, at that event, for the women's event, I'm not even gonna
Uh,
lie. I wanted to just take two, three, four to go place, but I just didn't want to seem like I was just like,
Oh,
because when
I wouldn't mind. I'm gonna do it again this year. I am gonna have another
oh,
one. Yeah, for the women this year. I just don't know what the theme is gonna be or anything like
right.
that, but I'm definitely gonna do it again. I mean, it was a pleasure just feeding everyone, and
Mhm.
sometimes you want that type of,
Mhm.
because especially all the speakers that came, because you was a speaker too. Like
Mhm.
people, I like to give that love back. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. And that's
So
so
yeah,
wonderful. That's
yeah,
wonderful. I appreciate that you even think that way, because
yeah.
sometimes, even as business owners, we get kind of up here and we
Mhm.
forget that if it wasn't for these people, where would we be? Because you got to
Yeah,
think, every time
yeah,
somebody recommends you, every time somebody speaks about you, that's basically advertising, and it's free
right.
because they're word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? Tiara B, thank you for coming on tonight. So proud of you,
Mhm.
acting. I'm proud of her
Oh,
too.
thank you, thank you.
Yes, keep making them lamb chops, and I'm super proud because you couldn't tell me I wasn't a lamb walking out of there. Okay, I
Well,
was.
thank you. I mean,
It
I
was,
try my best.
but you do such a good job. I know for sure. When I first met you, I was just like, wow, she's in the catering industry. And when I started to see like how you're getting those, doing your tables, getting everything out, I was like, that's a lot of work. And I used to do
Yeah.
cooking, but not to the level of what you had it, the level of cooking that you're doing or the
Mhm.
catering that you're doing. And I was like, nope, I'll just stay right over here in my little waxing and my little
Mhm.
spa and facials, because I just couldn't do it. You are so amazing at that. Seriously, because it takes a lot of work. Now, I wanted to ask you, like, when you're prepping, have you ever like lost sleep behind that? Like being tired, like prepping all night and then have like
Definitely.
you're on an hour sleep or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
how is that for you?
Yeah. That's definitely me.
Really?
Not getting no sleep. But your event's still gonna be good though. Okay.
All
But yeah,
right.
lack of sleep is very much of a lack of sleep because I like to make sure everything is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yes, definitely. Prepping can take, people don't realize how long prepping can take. You can spend a whole day prepping or
Really?
whatnot. And that's more than 8 hours, an 8 hour shift. Okay. Depending on how many people you're feeding. Yes,
Oh,
it takes time.
wow.
So when people like complain about pricing and things like that, yeah, we be up all night. Okay.
Yes.
So,
So the pricing is worth it. You know what
yes,
I'm
it
saying?
is.
So
Yes,
why
it
try
is.
to shorthand someone that has
Mhm.
quality work? It's,
Exactly.
yeah, I get
And I
what you're saying.
agree.
I
But yeah,
know.
but anybody, I tell anybody that wants to go into the field, make sure
Mhm,
it's something that you really want to do. It is a lot
mhm,
of time, a lot of effort to
mhm.
put into it. And just be encouraged about it. I mean, you're gonna fail once or twice. It just is what it is. But just
Right.
don't give up. Don't beat yourself up to the point. I don't want to do this anymore.
Mhm,
Because if I would have done that, then I wouldn't be doing this right now. If it weren't for my team, people behind me, my sister, my dad, friends, family, telling me, "Oh,
Mhm.
you got this. You can do this. You got it in you." Because I honestly didn't think I really had it in me,
Mhm.
But now I see it in myself. So I'm like, okay, well, I can do this. And
Mhm.
if I fail, it's like you just got to keep moving. I have my times where you do want to give up, but
Right.
you just got to keep going or whatnot, you
Right.
know. hmm And if
That's
anybody
good.
wants to get into it, just get into it. Step
Right.
on in there. It's gonna be some challenges, but just step on in there.
Right.
Mhm.
I get that and I love it. And I just, so do you just cater here in your locality, or do you decide later on that you're going to want to step out and venture out to like other states and
Right.
other
Yeah.
places where you're traveling?
I'm definitely
Mhm.
willing to travel. Yes.
Okay.
hmm
That's good. I mean, I love that for you, Afton.
hmm
Look,
Thank
I feel
you.
good because I got firsthand of the meals.
hmm
So
Well, look, honey, look. You need to let everybody know you can burn too now. I've had
okay.
that curry shrimp. That curry shrimp is good. Okay,
Listen,
that is A plus. Go on and put it out there. Go on and
I
put it
feel
out
good
there. You
because
are very well with that.
if you're telling me that the shrimp, if you're telling me that my shrimp is good, I know for sure that I do a good job because it's
You
like,
do.
listen,
I had that
because
curry shrimp. I was like, wait a minute. This need to be somebody's store. Oh my God.
right.
Like, yes, you did that, honey. Okay.
Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. That was so
You're
nice of
welcome.
you. I definitely love to cook. I don't know if I could get on your level, Afton.
I don't even know what my
This
level
is
is. So
girl.
I don't know what that is. I'm gonna be humble with it because I don't know what my level is. Cause I got issues like everybody else. And maybe I hide it well.
I mean,
But
listen,
like
I
but
didn't
I
know. Go
well, yeah,
ahead.
I mean, I do. I guess I look up more. I don't know. A lot of people, I get a lot of phone calls from other chefs a lot of times,
Mhm.
asking me certain things. And I be like, well, girl, I don't know either. But maybe it
Right.
looked like I got it more together than I do. But I'm happy that it does come off like that. But
Mhm.
other than that, I just try my best. I try every event I have or anything I do. I try my best to just put to give out the best quality that I can. You know what I mean? To make sure my
Right.
customers are satisfied and they are happy. Because overall, you want your customers satisfied and happy. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Right. Right.
hmm
Right. I know. No, I'm listening to you. It's so good. I love that you have that in your spirit. It's like it's natural. You can see it all over you. Like this is something that's your passion. And
Thanks.
have cooking always have been your passion? Like this is something that you've always said, yes, I'm going to be a caterer. Or did it just happen one day?
No, what it is, when we were younger, my mom's mom and my dad's mom were best friends,
Mhm.
as they were older, and they used to cook for a lot of the churches. So they would do like the baby showers and like the weddings and things like
Mhm.
that, and they would sell dinners and stuff. And I was that
Mhm.
one in the kitchen,
Mhm.
looking and trying to taste something or
Mhm.
whatever. So it kind of came from there. And
Mhm.
then my grandma Ruth, which is my mom's mom, the Coliseum Mall, she used to be like one of the chefs of the Piccadilly that was there. That was the Piccadilly that was inside of there. She was
Mhm.
one of the chefs in there, but I used to always watch her. I used to love watching her cook because my favorite food used to be macaroni and cheese all the time. So it
Um,
really started off like with me doing the commercial pans of macaroni and cheese. And then me taking her recipe and then like making it my own and putting my own ingredients in there. You know what I mean? And
right.
so it's like every event with that you have with the family, you're gonna bring the macaroni and cheese. After got the macaroni and cheese, I'm like, people don't even know that the macaroni and cheese is one of the highest dishes. Like cheese is high. Like I got to make this all the time. Milk,
Right.
the milk is high. But yeah, so I don't know. It really just started that way. It
Mhm.
honestly started that way.
Mhm.
And like I said, and then when I got older, um, I'm bringing pans into work, or just like I say, in family functions or something like doing a couple pans or whatnot. You
Mhm.
know. So yeah, and it just grew into this right here. When the pandemic happened, I seen everybody out here selling plates, and I was like, I think I'm gonna sell me some plates too. Like my food good. Let me go ahead and put my plates
Right,
out here.
right.
And
Right.
then it just came from there. And then thank God for Monique, that's owner of Mo's Eats or whatnot. And she was like,
Mhm.
girl, you need to get legit.
Right.
And that's when she
Right.
started telling me about getting my certification and stuff like that. So I
Mhm.
said, oh, let me go ahead and get everything I need. And I didn't thank you, Monique.
Right. Oh
And so
yeah,
I went
she cooks
ahead and
good
did
too.
that.
She do. She
So
have
yeah.
good food. Her oxtails almost caused the chaos
I
around the.
know.
I mean, it
Everybody
caused
wanted the
havoc.
same. They good, girl.
I know, like let me and because I don't eat the red meat, I
Mhm.
can never get in on what I was like. Well, let me go ahead and skip that aspect and get
Mhm.
back on red meat, so I can see what the whole, because I know her food is amazing. So she
Right.
caused the whole havoc around here with the oxtails. So I was like, oh my god.
Yes.
But I
Mhm.
definitely appreciate all of the caterers. I mean, even one was logged in to Wanda Johnson. She also has a business as well. A
Mhm.
lot of times you have to appreciate it, even though it may seem like everybody's doing it. But
Mhm.
you got to think, if you have McDonald's, Burger King,
Mhm.
and Wendy's, who you're
Mhm.
going to go to who you want to go to, regardless. So they could
Well,
all
you
three.
do,
Hmm.
but I feel like you put out something. As long as you put out something that nobody else can put out or
Right,
whatnot. You know what I
right.
mean? Your
Hmm.
brand is itself or whatnot. It could be your
Hmm.
personality.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously you want it to be your food too. You know what I mean? But I mean, yeah, you want good food. But it's
Right.
like, everybody's business and everybody way
Hmm.
of cooking is unique to me. You know what I mean? So everybody has something different, and that is the reason why we all stay booked and busy. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what it is. That's what it's about in
Right.
this time, especially now. One more question.
Mhm.
Have you ever felt any economical struggles now that we're in this
Mhm.
time where inflation is and the
Well,
first thing that's getting hit is food.
yeah, it is. Food
Okay.
is getting ridiculous.
Right.
The pricing of it's getting ridiculous. I had to go up a little bit in my pricing because it's just, come on now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking at certain things like, really? Like, but I mean, yeah. Yeah, food
Right.
has definitely gone up, but also that's why I like certain like you got certain customers that want to stick with certain budgets. They have to stop planning for 200 people and then lower the people down to maybe 150, so you'll be able to afford certain, what I mean, certain things, because
Right.
food has gone up. So everybody price is going to go up around here. You got
Right.
rent that's done gone up around here. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Dish
Right.
detergent, toilet paper, paper
Mhm.
towels, like
Right.
everything you need, plastic products, aluminum
Right.
foil, everything has gone up. So it's not even just food. The things that caterers need has gone up.
Right.
So yeah, so that stuff definitely costs. Yeah.
Yeah, it does cost. Sorry about
Hmm.
that. I had my little friendly noisers in the
Hmm.
background.
No problem.
No, so anyhow, those things do have it does take a toll on the business aspect.
Right.
And like I said, with the food and everything else that's going up, it's like a triple
Hmm.
effect. So
It
you
is.
never, yeah,
Hmm.
so you just like, oh my God, by the time I get this done. Have you ever
Hmm.
had anyone ever come to you to say, hey, my it's not in my budget right now because of everything being the economy being so off the grid right now? Does it affect your business in any way where people have to pull out of their actual booking with you because of that?
I have not had that yet.
Okay.
And I'm praying I don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
But also too, a lot of customers I do, when you are having events, I think a lot of people don't realize this. When you are having this, it gets expensive. You have to calculate in how much a building is going to be. You have to calculate in how much, if you're going to have a decor person. You definitely going to have to calculate in how much your catering is going to be, because catering is not cheap. I think a lot of times people think food, like, oh, this is going to be cheap. No, it's not.
Right.
We spend a lot of time, couple days doing certain things, and we want to get paid for it. If you
Hmm.
having service, they have to get paid too. You know what I
Right.
mean? And just basically, like I said, overalls go with the price is the price. So,
Hmm.
a lot of times you be willing to work with people, but you can't work with them but so much. And then also, especially
Hmm.
if they having events for 100 to 200 people to 300 people, and they think they're going to pay a certain amount, absolutely not.
Right.
That everything adds up or whatnot.
Right.
And sometimes you just have to go within your means. or what.
Right.
If you only can afford 50 people for your event, you need to just have an event for 50 people. Or if you
Right.
only can afford 100 people, just have an event for 100 people. You know what I
Right.
mean? I understand a lot of people, you want a lot of people to come, but at the same time, you make you a guest list and you keep it, stick to it. Stop
Right.
adding more and more people on, but then we don't want to pay for more and more people. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
okay,
And that's the
but
thing.
yeah,
Yes, because I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to small businesses, that's where they get into that. Well, let me see if I could squeeze a little bit more in or squeeze a little bit
right.
more in. But if you go to a hotel that doesn't require, some places you go, they don't want
Mhm.
to outside catering. They want to do it for you. You
Right.
can't tell them, hey, I need to squeeze this in. It's bottom line. So when
Right.
you do find a business owner that's willing to work with you, don't
Mhm.
take advantage.
Don't take advantage. Exactly. And I totally agree with that. Especially a lot of times, when most people come to me anyway, I'm trying to give them the best price. I'm trying to
Right.
give them a lot of
Mhm.
times I always give them, because most of the time your pricing is like event pricing is you get one side, you can do one
Mhm.
side and you do, I mean, one meat, two sides. So most of the time I'm giving you one meat and three sides. Okay.
Right. Oh
So
yeah.
like don't be trying to ask for a discount on certain. Hold on now. I done
Right.
given you a whole extra side over here.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
because it's not really
Exactly.
harming me doing that. A lot of times. So,
Right.
but yeah, people just want more and more and more and more and more, and they have to
Mhm.
realize you can't do that all the time. Stop trying to shortchange somebody.
Right.
You make somebody not want to work with you, and but I try my best to be respectful. Real respectable. And
Mhm.
let them know I'm not going to be able to do that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah.
Hmm. I
Mhm.
appreciate that you're very transparent with your clients, and
And
I'm
I try to
learning
be.
that. Listen, I'm still learning. So I'm
Mhm.
starting to stand on business. So if you miss an opportunity to pick up a product or you miss an opportunity for your appointment, it don't have nothing. I gave you the courtesy by making myself available,
Right.
and you didn't make the courtesy by meeting me where I'm at. So you may not have a next time. Let's just see. so,
Right.
so you got to be real with them. But we're getting to
Mhm.
our close. Like I
All
said, we
right.
started off late tonight, which I'm so sorry. That was my fault.
It's
Technical
okay.
difficulties. But I appreciate you so much for showing up for me. I'm telling you, it is and I want to be transparent with everyone tonight. Finding
Mhm.
your topics for the shows and getting
Mhm.
the people to come on. Not everybody's going to be okay with being on a show to talk about certain things, which I do really understand. But if
Right.
you are a person that just cannot do it, give me the courtesy and enough time so I can make other plans, because I appreciate you taking time out your day to even do this. So I
Mhm.
thank you
You're
so much, because
welcome.
you could have been doing something else like prepping or something, because it's getting near to the weekend, honey. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I just
Right.
appreciate that you took the time out today to come on the show and kind of just express what it's like on your side of the fence of things. And maybe you can help a future caterer tonight to better their business, right?
Mhm. Right.
Wonderful. But if do you have anything that you want to leave to any of the caterers, since we are definitely talking about after soul food cuisine? Is there any caterers out there that you want to just leave a message for them, if they're starting, beginning, or even if they're in midway? Sometimes when you've been doing it for too long, you want to give up. Is there
Right.
anything you want to leave them with tonight?
Basically, just don't give up or
Right.
whatnot. You're gonna have hardships. Things are gonna happen. Try your best to get through it. Pray about it.
Mhm.
And is the next day is always a new day coming along. You can do
Right.
better. Learn from your mistakes or whatnot. And try
Hmm.
not to continue to make the same mistake.
Hmm.
And basically, I think a big issue is timing or
Right.
whatnot. Uh, really, if you prepping, if you're doing your prepping, take the time out to sit down, get a notebook, paper, and say, okay, I'm going to prep this at a certain time at 7 o'clock. I'm going to prep this at 8 o'clock. I'm going to prep this at 9 o'clock.
Hmm.
Give yourself time in between to make sure you're able to get everything done in a timely manner. Leave your commissary kitchen at a timely manner to make
Right.
sure you're getting to the place you need to get to, so it's enough time for you to set up. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Not when you're trying to rush and people are coming to the door setting up. You know what I mean? It's depending on the
Right.
situation and how the event go. Sometimes events you do have to set up while the people are in there.
Right.
Depending on how they have their event. But
Hmm.
anyway, just basically, and just don't give up. Keep
Right.
going. Yeah.
I love that about you. Thank you so much because you're always so positive. Even you've even helped me, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this. This is funny. So I had an event, my networking event, which is coming up very soon, but I want to give it more in the summertime so people can be outside. So I want to do it more later in the summer. Who is she networking event? It'll be the second annual. So Afton gave me a whole list and a time of how to cook everything for the brand. Now, mind you, I can already cook, but I was like, this time management thing is going to drive me crazy. I am done with it. Right. Okay.
Hmm.
So I went ahead and she was just like, okay, you're going to cook this at this time, cook this at this time, cook this at this time, cook this at this time. How about now? I'm telling y'all got to y'all got to get on with Afton because her stuff is legit. Every time I took the time, made turkey bacon, take sausage, everything. By the time I said, now ain't this something? I said she had me on time management and it worked. I was on time for my event, out the door and ready to go. Okay, I said, Ashley, yes. And ever since then, we've been so locked in, and she definitely helped me. When I went to the event, I kind of just lost my will because I was already like scrambling, trying to get everything together. Because doing an event by yourself, catering, from the cooking to the decorating, that's just something you gotta like. I'm learning now. I'm gonna have to branch out, but when I got there, I kind of just walked away. She's like, I know she did not. And you know what? Instead of her judging me, because in her mind, she probably was cursing me out. She did curse me out. She just said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and jump in for this girl. I don't even know her like that. And she helped me. And I told myself, moving forward, no matter where I go, I'm going to always make sure I'm ready and available for Miss Artist. Okay. Because
Thank
she was ready
you.
and available for me. And she hooked me up at her fruit table. The fruit table was immaculate. Do you hear me?
Thank you.
And our other sister came on, Letitia. Hey, beautiful. Letitia, I'm
Hey.
going to get you. I'm going to get you. You know, we going to get her, girl. But anyway, I love you, honey. So thank you so
Yes.
much for everybody logging on. Thank you, Afton, so much. This was
You're
great. And
welcome.
we still was able to accomplish our hour tonight. You did so
Yes.
great. Thank you for
Thank you. I was
yep.
nervous.
Yeah, no, don't be. You did a wonderful, like you helped the caterer tonight. If someone
Thank
watches
you.
this show, there was a caterer that is learning to do business better, and that is thanks to you for being here. My next show is healing is not a process, it's a journey. I'm still working on my guests, but this is going to be good. So anyone
Mhm.
that wants to hear about the show of healing, because I'm pretty sure we all have some healing we have done in our time, make sure you log in on our next show in April. And you have been unplugged tonight. Afton, thank you so much. I'm getting ready to go and feed
All
my
right.
family. They already dipped in my pot, so I'm already getting ready to get them because they touching my cooking. All
All right now. Bye bye.
right, bye. Have a good night, everyone.